open when it's dark. It's the treasure hunt amusement park. Masquerade and Forest Fen are closed, but there are plenty more rides than just those. There's Beacon Star and Treasure Man, Vegas Die and Oak Island. Give them a try and you'll be smiling. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look.
All right, everybody. It is Thursday, May 15th, 2025. And we thought we'd change things up a little bit and we'd go back to Mr. John Collins Black and there's treasure inside, right? And we're very welcome to have the JCBHunters on the program.
Hello. You guys are kind of infamous in the community, so we're gonna have you famous, infamous. I mean, you guys have really made a mark, and I know a lot of people are rooting you on. And so, tell us first who you are, both of you, and then kind of you have some uniqueness of where you might be even right now, and what's happening with you, and then we'll get into questions and things. So, who are you?
I'm Cody, and I'm Steph. We came up with the JCBHunters name like right off the bat. It was like pretty close to the beginning, and we got a little bit of a jump start on the treasure hunt. I feel like we got our books on November 1st.
Oh, you got them early then.
Yeah. Our shipment in Kansas City, our Amazon shipment sent out them early to us, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
So yeah, that was the start of what this is. Yeah. So now we are like full-time boots on the ground currently.
Nice.
We are. I have a school bus that I have renovated into an RV.
That's what you're in right now?
That's what we're in right now.
That is so awesome. That's the dream. That's a dream.
Yeah,
like we're treasure hunters, and it's cool to say it, but you've taken it to a different level. So you travel. Do you have like a process of? Well, let me not get too far. Is there certain box you're working on? Are you working on all of them? Are you traveling around? What does that look like to you?
Let's see. When we first got our books earlier than everyone else, we started by we read the intro and it said to read the whole book first. So we did that. And then we immediately thought that we should start working on the small boxes because it's probably the best chance that we had.
All right.
Smart. We were immediately drawn to the Pokemon box because earlier in the chapter, he talks about his road trip, and that kind of gives the guidelines, we think, for where the box could be.
Mm-hmm.
And past the Ozarks is kind of close to home for us. We're from Kansas City, in Missouri. So a part of the Ozarks for sure. So we just kind of ended up, I guess we did have a past and future jaunt where we because we got our book early, we did the word search. We found Ohio. We were like, let's do it. So we from Kansas City, we took the probably 12-hour drive to Ohio, 3 days after we got our book, just because we were like, we could be the first to really look for something. And so we did that. But then we focused on Pokemon because of the Ozarks connection.
Yeah, we just have a lot of history down in the Ozarks, so it was cool to see.
So have you been Pokemon pretty much most of the way now? You're kind of the Pokemon focus?
Correct.
Yeah, Pokemon focus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was November, and we're in May. So have you been out there full time, or do you go back home to Kansas City, or what does that look like?
So we jumped out of Kansas City in February. We left and we moved into the bus full time February 1st.
Nice.
And we went down to Texas to start. It's warm in Texas. It's hot in Texas. Don't search and snow. Everywhere else was under snow. So it's we had a soft solve in Houston area, but it wasn't nothing like our Ozark solve is. Yeah, so then we got here to Arkansas is where we're at right now.
A lot of people think it's in Arkansas, don't they?
Yeah. And so we got to Arkansas in April,
the beginning of April.
Yeah, April 1st is when we got here.
So about 6 weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's been probably a hike every other day, probably.
Yeah.
So you're honed in. You have kind of a general location. You haven't moved. You kind of have a general area that you don't have to move from city to city. You're honing in on the final spot now.
Yeah, we feel pretty honed in at least. Well, I don't know. We always end up questioning our solve now that we've been here for what seems like so long. And this is our first treasure hunt, so we're never like how sure are you when you go out here and do this?
So let's take a step back, because some people might be like, I know these guys. Where do I know these guys from? You guys have been posting videos on TikTok. I've got I've got the link right here. You've got over 1,000 followers on TikTok, which is awesome. Now, what gave you the idea? Had you posted on TikTok before under a different username or channel, or you just thought, because look at all these videos, everybody. I mean, they've been doing it from the beginning. So what gave you the idea to post videos on TikTok?
So from the first read through of the book, I think it was one of these chapters. It was chapter 17, if you can pull up chapters. It was the George Washington's Jelly Glass chapter.
Okay.
And I can read for like 1 second just the opening part of it. It said, I believe you and I should share our stories. Doing so is good for us and for the world. Our stories empower us. They can inspire and give hope to others. So immediately I was like, oh, it would be fun to like start some kind of social media thing that would have our whole journey. And like, what if we did find a box and then we had all of the journey up to the box?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
TikTok was the easiest thing for us. Like I guess we hadn't really done TikTok, but I don't know, just like you can edit it right there and just do it really fast, and it lets you do captions and all that stuff. And it was pretty easy. And then now we're starting to branch out to other platforms too. So
yeah, you're on YouTube. I just put the link there. Everybody can go to TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, like K-Pro isn't, you can go to YouTube and subscribe, JCBHunters. And so you obviously you guys knew each other before the JCB hunt, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we met probably like eight or 9 years ago. We're both rock climbers.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we know like a lot of this area down here in the Ozarks is we've been coming down here for the last 8 years and hiking around the secret spots that only climbers know about. And so like it feels like our home turf a little bit. But yeah, so we've been climbing together in this area for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And now you got a treasure hunt that might be in the area. So you're like, hey, this is perfect.
Yeah, right. It almost feels too good to be true.
Right. Yeah. But only
so how long? So you've been there for 6 weeks. You've been searching. Are you there until it's found? Do you have a exit plan? A lot of people think confirmation bias. How many times do I go to the same spot? And now it's a little different with John's because there's grid searching and stuff. But are you there until this is over, or do you guys have like a strategy of, okay, we're going to do 10 more boots on the ground here and then we need to reset? Or like, what's your thought process right now?
Oh man, we are definitely feeling the like, how long can we beat this area?
Yeah.
Because our solve feels good. And I don't know, we can talk about our solve specifically if you guys want, and we can kind of dive into it.
You're not worried about that?
Like we've looked a lot towards where we're here, and a lot of our stuff is already sort of on TikTok. So I mean, if you guys go through there, but I don't know. I think it's fun to share, and if someone else gets like the idea from this, and then they say something, like they might put it in chat, and we lurk and we talk on Discord and look at all the stuff. So like, you know, I think the more people thinking about it is the best, but. When maybe we won't tell you everything.
Yeah, you can tell some general stuff. Well, I do that on past and future. I've shared a lot. There's a couple pieces I haven't shared just because I don't want to like take it to an exact spot that somebody picks up.
Well, we did get a super chat. Our friend Chad Bird with the $50 super chat says, cheers, mates. Hope all is well. Love the interview type format. How great is it to see fresh new hunters hitting the scene. Looking forward to Emma and Jam's JCB interview coming up. That's right. We need to talk about that.
Tuesday. Yeah, I have it on the list.
But he asked why Arkansas. Can you guys say why you believe Pokemon is in Arkansas? Can you give what led you there? And I know it's led a lot of other people too. But for those of us who really aren't working on the Pokemon chapter, what is it that leads you there?
Okay, so have you guys read the Pokemon chapter?
Yes. It's been a while,
Okay.
but
I was gonna say it's been a little bit, but yeah.
I know he takes a childhood journey, right? In the
Yeah,
story.
yeah. So he
Yeah,
starts. It's like a 3-part chapter. So he starts with his childhood journey. Then he talks a little bit about Pokemon's history as a video game / TV show, and also the Pokemon cards and the treasure. And then the third part he talks about would be this fictional, kind of whimsical story that he takes to kind of revisit his childhood. His childhood road trip is kind of how he puts it. So how we got to Arkansas is his childhood road trip, like he says goes past the Ozarks. We don't think. He also mentions a few other places in the chapter there. He says Louisiana, Houston, Texas.
They left Statesville.
Yeah, they left Statesville, North Carolina, and then he says past the Ozarks. So it's kind of the one that he mentions, but it's the biggest area. We felt like it's like the most. I don't know.
Yeah, it's big. It's expansive. Past the Ozark is also. It can be interpreted as below the Ozarks or above the Ozarks.
So I don't know. But we were drawn to Arkansas after a few other things in the chapter. Let's see. He in the chapter there were a few instances of the word grand, as well as the phrase brim to the rim, and all of this jumped out to me as like Grand Canyon type talk. And there's a place, Jasper, Arkansas, that is known for the Grand Canyon of the Ozarks.
Okay.
Makes sense. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that gets
Also
you your general kind of area.
Yeah. Also in the chapter, we honed in on some stuff that was like natural beauty. So Arkansas is the natural state on their license plates. He uses augmented reality, and it's AR is how it would be abbreviated. That's like a big thing in the chapter for the Pokemon.
Okay.
There's a hint with some raccoons in a tree in the whimsical story that could maybe be an area code for like northern Arkansas.
Okay, interesting.
So more than a lot of things that were kind of pinging.
Yeah, right.
The best connection we've had with the jazz bar is kind of the lingual thing that it sounds like Jasper, the town that we're by, Jasper, Arkansas, and Jazz Bar. So a lot of people have said that in the Discord and stuff too. So
yeah.
If you run into hunters while you're out looking, are they in your area? Are they out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got recognized for the first time on trail by an older couple. And they like recognized us like right off bat, and we were like,
"It's them!"
Yeah, they were like, "It's them, the JCB, the TikToks."
That's cool.
And yeah, so then we ended up like hanging out with them a whole bunch, and we did a bunch of hikes with them, and
they had more 4-wheel drive than us too, so we got to go do some some different hikes.
Yeah, so some
hunters
of the like
helping hunters. Aw.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so some of the hikes we weren't able to get to, they like picked us up and they took us there. So that was really cool. And a lot of fun.
And
so
then
how does your average day go? So are you working remotely, or are you just like full-time? Like, do you do research in the morning, or like, what does that look like? I try to work every evening just because of my life. Every evening is where I do some research, and I take an hour. You know, do you guys have a pattern, or do you just take it day by day? And is there a job, or you're full-time treasure hunters?
Living the dream.
Yeah. Right now we really are just full-time treasure hunting.
Okay.
Wow,
okay.
that's great.
Wow.
So we've like, as rock climbers, we've already like lived this really minimal lifestyle.
Okay.
So like I already had this bus, I already had this RV, like everything's outfitted. So like we run off of solar power right now. So our biggest expense is Starlink, so that we can like do stuff.
Yeah, internet, right.
So we pay $150 a month for that, but that's like our biggest expense.
And a lot of peanut butter and jelly.
A lot of peanut butter and jelly.
Now, do you guys take donations like through the TikTok videos? Is there a link or somewhere if people want to donate to your searching or
a PayPal?
We're really
something
trying
that doesn't take fees. Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to set that up. I think TikTok does have it. We like sort of started, it's like a subscription thing, but I'm not sure exactly how it fully works yet.
Okay.
I would set up a PayPal because there's no fees that way, and then people can send friends and family and put it on the bottom of every TikTok. That's what we do. Even though we love super chats and things, they still take like a third. So it's great if you just have a link, and then we get all the time like have a cup of coffee, and people send us $5-10, and it adds up. That could be an extra peanut butter and jelly for an extra day.
It all adds up.
Ramen that night.
Chad Bird just donated $5. Said, "Where can I donate at?" So you guys got to get that link set up.
Yeah, you got to get it up. You got to get
or
it up.
maybe do some
we'll get it set up and we'll let you know.
T-shirts. Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, T-shirts would be cool.
Because a lot of people will be jealous. A lot of people wish they could search full time like you guys are. I mean, I am. I wish I could retire and go look where I think these things are. Because there's so many treasure hunts out there. It's not just this one. Now, have you considered working on any of the other ones, like the Justin Posey one? Or are you just going to stick with Pokemon until you find it?
We did just buy the one up in New York.
Xavier Marks
or Michael O'Connell.
Or Michael O'Connell.
Is it Xavier Marks or Lady Liberty?
Lady Liberty.
Lady Liberty and Riley. Yeah, Lady Liberty. Yeah, they're finding those treasures left and right up there. So
yeah. So we just got that book, but we haven't put our hands on it yet. So
okay,
it's still being delivered.
We really just want to focus on JCB.
Yeah.
Now wait, what about past and future? Because Tahoe, they have this rock formation. I needed rock climbers to help me, and they have, and there's a there. I mean, I cannot believe how many rock climb. I think there's a rock climbing connection to the Solve. It's like right up your alley.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Yeah. We actually, one of our friends in the chat, CJ, we sent him.
Yeah. There he is. He said, "Here's some peanut butter, $9.99."
He's one of the original rock climbers.
Really?
And so we sent him on the mission of asking the people who put those climbs up if there could be any possible persuasion of route names and changes in
the Lake Tahoe area.
Right.
Yeah. Gotcha. Right. Okay.
So,
and did he kill that idea or what?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Maybe
there's some stuff there between, and that's at the part not having any of the knowledge until it's so funny because I just say to our 200 people in chat, hey, does anybody have rock climbing experience? I had 15 emails that night, and I was like, okay, why does this book have this and this book doesn't? Because I had to buy the books, and one was the trails to get to the rocks, and the other one was the rock, and then there's even like ways you go up the big rocks that are named even differently. And there's some patterns there that are quite
the pie shop, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it the pie shop?
The pie shop, all of that area. So Space Invaders and some. I guess whoever gets to the top of the rock first gets to name it.
Yep.
You guys are all 13 years old. All men, I think, are 13. Some of the names of those, I blushed. It was not okay. Some of those that
it's a heck of a coincidence that JCB didn't know about that. I wonder if he's a rock climber. I don't know if anybody actually. Emma and Jam asked him if he's a rock climber on Tuesday's interview. Would you? It'd be interesting to know if he has been rock climbing before or not.
Well, let's ask you guys as the experts because we know Emma and Jam are in here. If you were to ask something, and they're like the sweetest, nicest people ever.
She says he is. Okay.
Yeah. What would you ask JCB? And maybe Emma and Jam can write it down on your behalf and maybe try to sneak it in. What question, like not where's the box? I mean, they always try, but what would you ask them? What's hanging you up? Why don't you have that box inside your school bus right now?
It's our first treasure hunt. Yeah, I mean it's our first treasure hunt. We are like, are our clues good? Like we have no idea. We don't have anything to base it off of. And so like right now, both of us being like nature people that we are, we're hiking everywhere. And I grew up in the woods, and so like our like sense of direction and ability to not get lost is perfect.
That's good.
So we'll hike a mile off trail.
Nice.
And you can keep your bearings straight and all of that and not get
we're really used to this terrain as well.
Yeah. And so like softly you can like take what JCB said about the treasures being within 3 miles of any road. Right.
That kind of narrows it. Yep.
Yeah.
But that could still be an exuberant amount off trail.
Right.
A ridiculous amount.
Right.
For sure.
And
We
so
had, can I tell the story about
yeah.
We met like one of the Buffalo National River, I guess we're like
Park
ranger essentially.
Okay.
We were telling them one of the trails that we were going on, and they were like, oh, we had to search and rescue a hunter from there in the winter. They had decided to like hike that trail when there was snow on the ground, and they got lost off trail, and they were found burning a tire in their backpack for warmth. And like,
wow.
And we were like, whoa. But and then then every time we hike there, we're like, how far off trail did they go? Like, I wonder where they were looking, you know?
So now, do you guys have the safety stuff down? Like I'm going out with my son, so I just got walkie-talkies that go up to 3 miles because I was like, I could get turned around. I mean, I don't have your experience at all. So do you guys have some technology and things and does your like cell phone and things work where like, do you get signal when you're out on the trails or is signal dead?
Zero service. There's there's not even service here where we're at. We have like the WeBoost signal booster and then the Starlink. Because without it, we don't have service at all.
Okay.
And so like most of like the little town has service, but the second you leave the towns, there's no service anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Oddly, the one trailhead that we think has enough service at the trailhead to play Pokemon Go.
I love it.
Now, were you guys into Pokemon before this book came out? Were you familiar with it or no?
I grew up playing it. Esteban didn't. Okay. So I like restarted playing all the games. So that's been fun. I like carry my Game Boy everywhere with me again.
Nice.
Thank you, Seaweed, for the $9.99. We appreciate it. Now, if you find it, if you are the fortunate ones to find it, are you going to be anonymous? I don't know how you can with making your videos, but what would you do if you find it? I mean, make a video right away, or like, what would you do? You've got the freaking 10 of 10 Charizard, limit. What would you do with all that stuff? Have you thought about it or no?
Yeah, we've had some fun thoughts because each of the small boxes will have a clue.
That's right.
The lion's share.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So our fun thought in the spirit of how this treasure hunt got started. So we would leave the clue in the box location, the box spot.
Oh, nice. Okay, but then we couldn't get the solution though, right? You wouldn't give the solution.
No, they would know it, but they're leaving it for the next person that does the work.
Because I mean, hopefully the solve will get released, and it would just be like if you're willing to go do the hike in the spirit of the.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. That would be great.
So eventually, so there would be that limited time when the solve wasn't released yet.
Right.
So you could still have the full spirit of the hunt for still a nice prize. But then
what's been your biggest challenge right now? Is it? I mean, those that go extended, kind of living off the grid, if you will. What's your biggest challenge? It sounds like you're already seasoned in that, but you're treasure hunters too. So, is it the reset? Do you guys come in each night and maybe say, okay, wait a minute, we've got to rework this, or planning, or what I know there was a ton of questions and all that, but those are what do you like? I'm trying to envision like your day to day, not that you went out one day or one weekend, you're out there 6 weeks. So it's like, do you go a few days, then do you take time off just to empty the brain and make sure you decompress? Like, what does this look like for all of us that are so jealous we're not doing it ourselves?
So it's the rainy season right now in Arkansas. And so that gives us forced research days. Yeah. So oftentimes it'll rain like 3 days in a row. And so we won't hike those 3 days. And we'll just research. Essentially our whole time, because we've moved here to this spot. And so we're trying to make our solve better. And a lot of it can be complete confirmation bias, but at this point we're like, we don't care.
We're already here.
We're already here. Like,
Right.
let it dive in deeper. Let it keep building on itself. That's okay.
Yeah. The Pokemon chapter is difficult because, I mean, past and future, you have a word search you could focus on, and Appalachian Trail, there's a map. But for Pokemon, there's that picture at the end. But I don't know, you guys? I don't know what that picture, where you're supposed to find it out in the wild, or what's going on with that picture.
Right.
Oh, we have so much turmoil about that picture.
Right.
I bet.
Yeah, I started a new mission of like just staring at the picture an hour a day.
Yeah.
And so I'll just stare at the picture. Like there's just so, like, we're here all the time. Like all we have is time right now.
Yeah.
And so like I'm like, why not? I can't stare at my phone. We don't have service. Like we don't have enough power to leave the internet on all the time.
Okay.
So we have so much time with just us in the woods with our treasure books.
Nice.
We have this little thought maybe that, or I guess we kind of hope that it could be one of the solves that's, we don't know if there's like a range of difficulties like to the solve and or the hikes. So maybe it's one of the easier solves with a harder hike. And maybe there are harder solves with an easier hike. Yeah. Or I don't know if anyone has thought about
because
it like
he said that like a couple of them you could pinpoint from your house, and then others would have to be grid searched.
Yeah, and it was, I know one was Forest Fen was a pinpoint, and then it was one of the others. It was either App Trail or Pokemon. I forget which one. Julio.
And I guess they mistakenly put it on one of the websites.
Amazon?
Yeah, that
The
Pokemon
ebook.
could be, but we don't know how to trust that.
Yeah,
right. It was the description of the ebook.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Well, so when has been your last aha? Like you're there around the clock. You might get 3 or 4 days where you're in the bus because it's raining, etc. You can't get out. Have you had a recent, oh gosh, how did we miss this? Look right here. Have you had that? I mean, you've been out for months now. Have you had that recently, or is it kind of slim pickings at this point?
I mean, I feel okay sharing this one, and it's like, and it might be because we're just here confirmation biasing the heck out of this one, but I don't know. You've definitely, if you're looking into Pokemon books, you've definitely heard of Hemden Hollow.
Yeah.
So we had made a TikTok, and I was talking about these on Hemden Hollow being ruby red eyes, because the trail markers are just these little red dots that they put on trees or on posts. And I made this TikTok, and I was like, oh, look at these 2 red dots. Like they could be ruby red eyes. And one of the trail markers is on a tree. And then the other trail marker is it's this big oak tree that has been fallen over, and you walk underneath it. So you're almost like, oh, is this going to be here a while? But the trail marker's on it. So it's like, it's going to be here a while. So I was reading Pokemon descriptions. And somewhere in the chapter, there's like 2 Pokemon he says in a row. I'd have to look it up.
It says a ladybug.
It's the 2 after those.
Okay.
Dang, we pull up the chapter. Hold on. Here, will you look it up and I'll keep talking? But it's 2 Pokemon, and I was like, or no, it is Ladybug, isn't it?
Yeah, Ladybug and
I was like, what if the 2 red dots, instead of being ruby red eyes, are 2 Ladybug? Because in the chapter he says he sees 2 Ladybug.
And then he says,
and then in parentheses it says, or were they Heracross? And then through every other research we've done, we don't know why you would mix those 2 Pokemon up.
Yeah, you're not able to mix them up. It's a small ladybug and a big blue like rhinoceros bug.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's an error. Errors stand out. Yeah.
Yeah. And the description. Yeah. The description of that Pokemon, the Heracross, is that it's powerful enough to knock over large trees. So yeah, you have it. You have it right there. 2 trail markers that are right next to each other that are little red ladybugs or ladybug. And one of them is on a big fallen over tree that could have been knocked over by a Heracross. And yeah.
How many times have you searched that area? I'd be all over that over and over again.
Yeah, we've looked all over, and even that trail, since we started looking, because we honed in on this area really early because we have the history of this area, and we just kind of felt lucky, honestly, to to be able to put things together so quickly, and then to have it kind of confirmed by the discords, like everyone else kind of came up on it behind us. But we've noticed that Hemden Hollow has a lot of offshoot trails now, and we call them the JCB trails. So it's like, we got there.
So your ahas are coming actually boots on the ground. You've kind of made some connections, but and that's why I think boots on the ground is so important, because once you get out there, you see a trail marker or something, and you go and you point to it, and you go, that connects to the book. So it sounds like that's what you're getting out there. Okay, so question from chat: if you find it, what are you going to do with it? So you so you're leaving the hint, which is very, very nice of you. But you now have a box with a, I don't know, $200,000 level 10 Pokemon card and other stuff.
Right.
Are you contacting John for the incentive? Are you going to say anonymous? And what are you going to do with it? Are you going to sell it? And then, because a lot of it is kind of like rare collectibles more than, it's not cash, or at least some of it isn't cash. So what are you going to do with it? That's a question from chat.
Yeah, we've made a couple like funny TikTok videos of like showing off the treasure. And so there would definitely be like a disbelief amount of time.
Yeah, you'd be like,
right.
Like an unfathomable
shock.
Yeah.
But we would definitely contact JCB.
Yeah.
And I think we would definitely, I mean, we would have to put it on the TikTok, because the whole idea is if we find it, we're going to go viral.
Right.
Yeah. Same with us. K-Pro's like, we have to be anonymous. And I'm like, I don't think we can. We do a show every week. I don't think we could.
Right. Somebody's going to notice.
Yeah. So
I don't think I'll last an hour. I will be so out of my mind. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Forrest Fenn said, put it under your bed for 30 days and think about it. Don't do anything for 30 days. Just think about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good thought, too. Yeah, we for sure have like looked through the pictures in the treasure book and been like, if this is in there, it's mine. If this is in there, it's yours.
Nice.
Put it up. Yeah. Because it's 50-50, right? I would assume. Yeah. Now, are you guys in the camp that all the clues and everything you need is in that chapter, or do you see things that relate in other chapters? A lot of people are saying they think there's some hints in other chapters. But for the Pokemon box, are you only concentrated on that chapter and not the rest of the book at all?
Yeah, we just read the introduction again today, pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 parts in there whenever he's talking about how he split up the book. And in one of them, he's like, everything you need is in the back 4 chapters, and everything's completely separated. And then in the second one, he decides to use the word primarily. All you need is in the back.
Right.
And you're like, what does that mean?
Right.
John?
So we're in the camp then that perhaps all of your clues are in the Pokemon chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But how to use those clues, or how to interpret them, or how to like figure them out, can be that information gifted to you from the previous chapters.
Because the whole majority of the book is how to find these, right? He kind of tells you what to do. So that's an interesting thought. Okay, the clues are in the chapter, but you may need another part of the book. That's a good point. Okay,
like using because he wrote this, like it's essentially a study guide for how to find the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And so so we're in now the belief of we're rereading the book again. We're talking through it. Yeah, that'll be what our YouTube will start to be, is like our talk through of the intro, and then we'll go chapter to chapter to chapter.
Nice.
So it'll be interesting to see now that we have like the back small ones like pretty closely memorized, that what connections will fall into our laps as we reread the book, very like in tune with the back chapters.
Well, speaking of YouTube, I just put your link in the chat again. TikTok and YouTube. Are you on anything else other than TikTok and YouTube, or is it just those 2?
We have Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Yep, under the same name as well.
And we were trying to get a Patreon going, but now that you guys say the PayPal, that might be a better way. I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah, PayPal, just donations. People could just send money, basically, as long as you have a way to access it. To get it, whether it's a bank account or you can actually even get a debit card that links to the PayPal account and use it, or whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Nice.
Somebody said. Somebody said, if you're in the bus, where do you get the book? Where do you pick the book up? You got a PO box or something?
Yeah, I have a house in Kansas City, so
okay.
I can have stuff shipped there and then go pick it up. Short little 4-hour drive.
Well, that's great that you're getting the Lady Liberty books. Do you plan on going to New York and looking at some of those once you read the book?
Yeah, our next door neighbor is super interested in it, so we're gonna work with them whenever, like, once the book gets delivered in Kansas City, they're gonna go next door and grab it from my house, and they're gonna start working on it, and they'll video chat us and stuff, and we'll kind of work remote on it with them.
Make sure to check the Discords, because I think the 7th one has been found. There's some question of if there's 9 or 18, but 7 of them have been found. One person's found 2 of them, so they're going.
They're going
quickly.
fast. Huh?
It's not over yet, but it's definitely there. I think one's been found every day, so it's definitely in the midst.
But now people are starting to think there's 2 in each state, not just 1. That's a rumor. We don't know yet, but maybe you read the book, you'll be able to figure it out. Nobody realized there were 9 treasures in 9 states. The author did not come out and say that. He let people figure it out for themselves, and now that people know, I think a lot of people are ordering the book and trying to.
Yeah, he kind of said it on your guys' live with him. Or he kept hinting to it.
Right.
Well,
really
when the first one
hinting.
was found, and they didn't have 100,000, they had a much smaller amount. It's then that means there's more of these, right? And then the kitty cat was kind of out of the bag. So, and some people were frustrated by that, but a lot of people now have jumped into it because they're like, oh, there's lots to find up here. Yeah. And I think it's actually helped. I get the reason for all of it, but I think it's been a net positive at this point.
Yeah, we're excited to see another treasure book and kind of how it's laid out, and if they're able to figure out, because I imagine, do we know if he's releasing the solves, or are the people that found them releasing solves?
I don't think he's done it yet, has he? Well, on Mysterious Writings, I think he's not yet. That's a good question. Yeah, that'd be a good question. Is when is he going to come out with the solve? In other words, what in the book led the person to where they found it? Right. I don't think he's done that yet, to tell you the truth.
I don't think he's done that yet.
So if that happens, then we would have we would have our test and our answers to see if we are good at this treasure hunting thing.
Well, that's why I'm excited for the first JCB box to be found, because what I'm hoping it's not past the future. I'm hoping it's you guys with Pokemon.
That'd be great.
And then once we see, and it's oh, does that make sense? We've been around treasure hunts for almost 10 years now, and there's some of them I'd never do again. The originator's not wrong. I just don't think like that. They put the solution out, and it was man, I wouldn't have been anywhere near it. But there's some, it's it was clever. This is this way. I did solve this. So I think once John, so John made a comment on his last interview that said there's a box that there was consensus early, and I think it's going to be found this year. Do you guys think it's Pokemon? Do you think it's App Trail? Do you think it's past and future?
It's hard to tell. I know
we definitely noticed him saying that, and then everyone went to Appalachian Trail and Past and Future, and we're out here in Arkansas hey, we knew this pretty early. And he follows us on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, so JC follows us on TikTok, so we're he could have saw us in Arkansas. Because we came out here in November.
Yeah.
It was our first time boots on the ground out here.
Now, were you guys looking through the winter with snow on the ground, or did you just really not go out? Yeah, okay.
No, we went down to Texas. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said that. That's right. Yeah.
But no, and so then everybody obviously knows of the Appalachian Trail and Past and Future, that area being covered in snow. Right. But then so was the Ozarks, so was our search area. So it was It felt like a really cool statement that he said, and then we were like, dang, now it feels discernible because it could have been every single box.
Yeah.
Well, but the good part is, if it is, I personally still think it's App Trail or PNF. If one of those gets found, that'll be perfect for you guys, because then you can see how the originator's mind works. Hopefully he puts out a solve pretty quickly, and then you could say, oh, he did this word game, and look, let's use that word game here. Maybe he wouldn't use the same, but I think we will gain a tremendous amount of knowledge once one of those boxes are found. I don't care which one. Well, I kind of do. I kind of want to pass the picture for myself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it would be best if it was Appalachian Trail box right now, I think.
And
so
hopefully,
you're there. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, hopefully when one's found, it's not a big sad horn.
I know.
And we're like, what? How they figure that out? I think they're going to be
Yeah.
great solutions. I really, I hope so anyway.
Yeah, we
so
just had
are
this.
Oh, go ahead.
You got it.
Are you out there until like find the treasure or bust? Like you're out there for the near future? Like you don't have any plans to like, we're leaving by June 1st if we don't find it, or do you have a hard cutoff plan?
So we are taking the bus back to Kansas City like by June 1st.
Good call.
Okay.
So yeah, great
It
guess
gets
there.
hot.
It gets incredibly
too
hot
hot
and humid down here.
Yeah.
As well as we can pick up a bunch of work in Kansas City and make a couple dollars and then be weekend hunters. Like it's still only a 4-hour drive. I guess probably like a 5-hour drive to our search area.
Oh, that's nice.
So, but then we'll be able to be in a city with real food.
Air conditioning.
The closest grocery store to us is a Dollar General, and they don't have produce. So,
Oh, gee. A lot of granola bars, I bet.
Yeah.
Protein bars, yeah. Now, if you are going to New York, I could suggest Xavier Marks and the Missing Masterpieces. Have you heard of that treasure hunt or no?
No, I don't think we have.
So this one's for $10,000. Been out 3 years. It's a kid's book. It's a very simple book, but they obviously have put a cipher or something in it. And a lot of people think it's in Central Park or in Manhattan in that area. They've confirmed it is in New York. So if you're going anyway, it may be something you want to research, especially if you guys can work on it full time.
Right.
Now, are you cipher kind of guys? Do you get into like decoding like ciphers? Are you more like, you know what I mean? Are you more like trying to just different
like
kinds
the
of
imagination, wordplay?
Yeah.
Like I'm more imagination. Mike is ciphery. So, and we try to come together and complement each other. Is one of you a little more of one or the other? Are you both one?
I'm a really big numbers and math guy.
Okay.
And so every time I like see numbers and stuff, I've been trying to do any possible manipulation of them. And like I figured out the cryptogram in the past and future.
Yeah.
I was able to figure that out, so that was pretty cool.
Okay, so you're a cipher guy. I put you in the cipher category.
I'm just saying Xavier Marks is $10,000. It might be right up your alley, and it's on Amazon. It's not that much.
You've been corrected in chat. It's actually 13,500 because of the.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So they made a bet. What was the bet about? So we know the owners, Hillary and Sean, created the book, and all the money goes to charity. And they're really good people. But this book's been out 3 years, and there was something that had to happen. Was it the Super Bowl? Yeah, it was
the
Xavier
first one.
Super Bowl. That's what it was.
Xavier was for a basketball game, and they put a bunch of prop bets together. And if they hit, they added to the prize pool. And then the second one was the Super Bowl. And remember, if like there was 10 FUs and we could actually see it, they would increase. Right. They did all these crazy prop bets, and some of them hit, most of them didn't, and they came true, and they added to the prize pool.
Sounds like the prize pool is at 13,500.
Yeah.
But you can go to XavierMarks.com if you guys are interested in getting into it. But it could be, and I can give you the solutions. If you end up getting the book, I'll share with you, because everybody shared what they figured out, but we still can't find it. So
nice. Is it on one of the? Does it have a Discord channel?
It does.
It does. Yeah, it does.
It's not as active because it's been around so long. We're all waiting for that hint. But it's really cool because there's also one in Denver, Colorado that's been going on for years. And I tell anybody who jumps into it, it's called the Beacon Star. I say, go watch the videos and the Discord, because like 20 things have already been solved. So rather than kind of wasting your time, if you will, you kind of get into you start like everybody shares up to this point because we
Right.
can't figure out the rest. So anyway.
Have you guys noticed that? Is that like a newer thing in treasure hunting, or has that always been since you guys have been treasure hunting that the community shares or doesn't share?
There's always, I think people have always shared. I mean, going all the way back to 12.org, some people listening remember 12.org, which is way back in the day, early 2000s. A lot of people would share. Not everything, but
I'm going the other way.
Common things.
I think there was general discussions up until JCB's hunt at that one, like people. I mean, I shared stuff on Past and Future that looking back, I don't know if I should have, but a lot of people are sharing a lot of things. I've never seen that. Now, some people, they would finally get sick of their solve and say, I just need to put it out there to like on Forest Fens. But pretty much people kept stuff close. I mean, they might share a general area. Like I think Forest Fens is in Yellowstone. Well, that's not how, that's 1 million acres. I have not seen this level of sharing in the last 6 months. There's been more sharing than I have seen in 6 years. That's just but Mike and I obviously think of it different. Now, Mike's always held Zooms. Mike has always been really good about going back and forth with searchers, but things evolved. They were on Facebook and a couple forums. Yeah. And then YouTube brought people together, but Discord has only been like Discord didn't exist during the Forest Fen hunt. So Discord makes it so easy to share and get in and talk with people or archive it. I think that is what's changed everything. And I love it. But also there's a few things that like I've been holding on to. And then I see them posted on Discord and I'm like, oh, now everybody knows.
Yep. Yeah. We had that's kind of how we felt in our original solve. And then people just started posting it. And then a couple of folks said that like our trail Hemden Hollow is too dangerous or too difficult. And we were like, dang, we just did that 3 times today.
Yeah. And you're like, it's not dangerous to me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
As long as you guys are having fun, that's what it's all about. I mean, you know, that's what it's all about. Now, have you ever had a day where you're just like, this is impossible? One of you gets frustrated, was like, let's just quit and go home. But at least the other one's there probably to cheer them up. I guess if you both have it at the same time, it could be a problem.
Yeah, I feel like we bicker a lot. We end up being like a married couple. We'll be like, what is a good solve? Like, who is this John guy anyway? Like, what do you think he did to like? So
yeah, a lot of. We have like 240 square feet of living space.
Yeah, right.
It's very, very small. I mean, we have all of the outdoor around us. So, but everything is together. We eat every meal together. We walk every trail together. Yeah. Like, so we get on each other's nerves for sure. But then our first time we had like an aha moment at Hemden Hollow. We were like sitting down at the bottom of the falls. We ended up finding that there's a second waterfall at Hemden Hollow.
Oh, okay.
So Hemden Hollow is the tallest waterfall in the Midwest. And then like 100 yards to the left is the second tallest waterfall. Called Diamond Falls.
But maybe like 2% of people go there. Like when they do the full hike to the big one.
Right.
Yeah, it's not on it's not on all trails. It's not on anything. It's not on the trail markers. It doesn't have a trail to it. And so we're like, this is something.
Yeah.
So that was a good day. You guys were like, even if you were bickering before, you're now high fiving and fist bumping. And
yeah. And so we had that great day, and then we were like, well, golems like to be on the top of the mountain. And so we looked up and we were like, we have to go up there to the top of the waterfall.
Now somebody said it's a dangerous hike to that waterfall. Do you think it is or no? They said it looks dangerous, not that they've done it.
Yeah, so
it's a bushwhack for sure.
To the top of the falls? Yeah, to the top of the falls is for sure a bushwhack. It was a terrible, terrible bushwhack. But we thought, we were like, for sure this is too much. This is too too much to get to the top of the falls, wouldn't be here. And then we told our friend about it,
The older gentleman.
older gentleman, and he was like, "I'll do it with you guys." He's 71.
Wow.
He's done Hemden Hollow 5 times, and then he did this top of the falls hike with us.
So he really blew our minds with like, what hike is too hard?
Yeah, we were like, we're like, okay, I guess this is fine. I guess this 71-year-old man is doing this. Like,
it all depends on what shape you're in. Yeah, I probably couldn't make it. Ripper Day says you guys go eat at the Low Gap. Low Gap? I don't know what that is.
We haven't ate at the Low Gap. We've been eating a lot at the Ozark Cafe.
Okay.
Yep.
It's on the list.
Okay. CJ DeYoung says, best of luck, fellas. On my way back to New Mexico mañana, tomorrow. Stay safe. See you soon.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Shout out, CJ.
Well, I mean, we have to say good luck to you. And so you need to get your internet ready on Tuesday because Treasure Hunt with us, guys. They have gotten JCB and he's coming on. They have their questions ready. I'm sure they did fantastic with Justin. I think they're going to do fantastic. John's been kind of out of play for a little bit. So this is pretty big news for the JCB hunters. He's coming out of hiding. Maybe he'll give some hints. Maybe he'll say, okay, for Pokemon, here's a hint. And you never know. You never know.
Once we hit our 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, we did I think we did 6 questions to JCB. We did it as like an outward thing, but he can obviously see them and watch them, or his PR will find the video for him.
Yeah.
But then it gives him an unlimited amount of time to possibly answer these questions. So fingers crossed, he also answers our questions.
There you go.
And
shout out.
answers their questions during the interview.
And what's great, do I have it right that it's actually going to be live on YouTube? It's not pre-recorded. The interview they're going to do with JCB is live on Tuesday. So this is the link. This is the link to Treasure Hunt with us. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel if you haven't already. And definitely, we're all going to tune in Tuesday. That's going to be huge to get an update from JCB, and hopefully he can answer some questions for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll comment on following us on TikTok.
Yeah,
maybe that's the question. Emma and Jam should ask them. Do you know JCB Hunters? They are one of the OGs, and they are living the life as treasure hunters. And I bet she says yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming on, guys. We really appreciate it. It's great to hear the story. We should have more people on, especially that you guys are doing it full time. I think more and more people are going to recognize you when you're out and about. So that's going to be fun too. Maybe you should even do a surfer meetup down there one of these days.
Yeah, that would be fun. Do you know how many subscribers on YouTube you have to have before you go live?
1,000, right?
1,000, and you have to have 400 hours of watch time. So
it's a double.
Like I had one interview of Forrest that got me to 1,000 in one day, but I didn't have the 400. And Mike had the 400, but I think you were well over 1,000 by then. So you have to have both of those. So what I would recommend is you take in all your TikToks and moving them over. And if you do that, people will watch them because I think they have a great time.
We got clarification. Treasure Hunt with us is saying no, it's only 50. Does that mean 50?
Oh, it's 1,000 to monetize. I'm sorry.
It's only 50 to go live. It's 1,000 to monetize.
Okay. So all right, well, let's get to 50 subscribers and then we can host them live.
Well, you were at, I just subbed and you were at 35. Let me do you're at 38 right now. Guys, we have we have 131 in the room.
Soundboard for
that. Right. Breaking news. JCB Hunters are on YouTube, everybody. Go and subscribe. That's right.
Yeah, put the link again. I want at least half of you. That's 60 people. If 60 of you will go over, hit sub, then they can go live. We're at 38 right now. I was number 34. Go right now. We're not leaving here until they hit 50. We might be here all night.
We're in the midst of editing a video and we're holding off now because of this upcoming JCB interview. But we did a mashup of all of the JCB interviews so far and clipped all of the important things that he says.
Okay.
And then we're
you're at 50. You guys are good. You're at 50.
Nice.
51 actually.
And is that on YouTube or is that on TikTok? The mashup
we're
videos.
We're gonna use that. We're gonna do that on YouTube.
Oh, sweet,
Nice.
because I want to watch that.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure you guys hit the bell so you guys know when these guys upload a video. Yeah, Little Angel says subscribe. Lorraine says done. You guys hit 50, so there you go.
You're at 54 now. It's out of control.
We appreciate you guys. The community is awesome.
You guys kind of remind me of Hall and Oates. You know who that is? Hall and Oates.
Yeah,
You're probably
that's
too
pretty
young.
hard,
You
man.
don't even know who they are.
Well, when you asked them why TikTok, I thought my daughter says to me, "Why are you on YouTube? Are you guys dinosaurs? Like, get on TikTok, get on Insta." I just thought it's because of their age. They're younger and hipper and know all the, like you said, because it's so easy. And I thought I can't even like get on social media. I'm such an old dinosaur. But no, I love it. I love the different platforms, but YouTube is definitely, well, that's kind of our home. So we like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like learning to maybe like YouTube. It just takes so much more time, right? Like you have to upload, you have to edit the video.
Well, if you go live, you don't. So what Mike did for years was clipped all these videos together, edit them, had to do a movie maker, whatever, and put them up. And the greatest thing about live is you hit live and then you hit end. That's it. Unless you want to make a PowerPoint or something. It's as easy as TikTok, and you can go on for hours if you want. So there you go.
Okay. All right.
Now you're over 60. Okay, you guys, we're allowed to leave now. You hit over 60.
Now you got to get to 1,000 and monetize. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. If you go to New York, let us know. Come back on. If you go up looking for Lady Liberty or Xavier Marks or whatever, come back on the show and give us an update on how that goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely will do.
All right, everybody. We will be live Monday night. Again, JCBHunters, thanks for coming on. And if anybody else out there wants to come on and give their story, email me, email KPro. We'll see what we can do. I think it's fun to hear the other searchers' stories, you know?
Aww.
Is that a Pokemon right there?
Yeah, that's the Froakie.
Froakie, yeah. From the chapter.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to us. We're trying to get to 10,000. We're at like 9,180 or something. And we're going to do a giveaway at 10,000. We'll have more details on that. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Bye.